Let me start with a confession. The life I'm living today used to feel impossible. I tried to earn it with effort. I tried to hustle my way there. But the turning point came when I realized something so simple it felt almost scandalous. I don't get the life I want by forcing outcomes. I get it by becoming a match to them. That's the core idea of my book. Your thoughts and feelings are vibrational requests, and life is exquisitely responsive to the signal you broadcast. You are not here to beg for scraps from a reluctant universe. You are here as an extension of Source, creative, powerful, and free. And what you focus and feel consistently becomes your experience. From that premise flows everything else. The law of attraction is constant. Your emotions are a guidance system. Contrast is useful because it clarifies desire, and receiving is an art we can practice. So in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be very real with you and answer 5 questions I've been asked 1,000 times. First, if thoughts create things, why hasn't my desire shown up yet? Second, how do I use my emotions as a reliable inner compass instead of getting trapped by them? Third, what do I actually do each day, practically, to line up with what I want? Fourth, how do I handle the unwanted stuff that keeps showing up without pretending it's not there? And fifth, how do I sustain this alignment in money, health, love, and work? So it's not just a weekend high, but a new baseline. Stay with me. I'll give you stories, experiments you can run this afternoon, and the most generous frame I know for your life. You can be, do, or have anything, and your path there starts with the next thought you choose. Here's the most honest answer I can give. It hasn't shown up because my signal hasn't matched my desire long enough for it to become matter. Not because I'm unworthy. Not because someone else took my spot. Not because the universe is slow or stingy. Every time I've asked, the asking was answered, immediately, on an energetic level. What delayed the physical manifestation was me camping out in the vibration of, it's not here yet. I used to pray for abundance while rehearsing scarcity in my head, checking bank apps with a pit in my stomach, comparing my timeline to someone else's, telling the story of nothing ever works out for me. That's like dialing 98.6 FM and demanding to hear the station at 101. It isn't punishment, it's physics, resonance. My turning point came when I stopped arguing for my limitations and started telling a fresher story. I remember one launch that failed. I could feel myself spiraling into, I messed up, no one wants this, what was I thinking? So I set a timer for 2 minutes and spoke out loud the most neutral, believable story I could find. I'm learning. There's interest here. I can see what to tweak. My work is valuable to the right people. I'm willing to be surprised by how easy this can be. That shift wasn't fireworks. It was alignment, subtle, steady, compounding. Within a week, I had a collaboration offer that more than replaced the income. The practical takeaway: want what you want, then get curious. When you think about that desire, what's the dominant feeling? Relief and eagerness, or tension and prove it energy? If it's tension, do not double down on action. Soften the story first. Your job isn't to shove outcomes into place. Your job is to become a steady match to the feeling of it's already handled, and then act from that place. Desire is the seed, alignment is the soil, and action is the sunshine. Stop trying to photosynthesize a seed you haven't planted in receptive ground. I used to treat negative emotions like a personal failure, which only glued me to them. Then I learned to see every emotion as data, not drama. Emotions are precise instruments that tell me one thing: how close or far my current thought is from the way Source views this moment. When I think a thought that matches how the broader, wiser part of me sees things, hopeful, appreciative, possible, I feel relief, ease, even joy. When I think a thought that contradicts that perspective, helpless, hopeless, unlovable, I feel constriction. The emotion is my guidance, not my identity. Here's the practice I still use. Name it, scale it, nudge it. Name it. Right now I feel discouraged. Not forever. Now. Scale it. On a scale from despair to joy, I'm at frustration. Why the scale? Because I'm not trying to pole vault from anger to bliss. I'm reaching for the next rung. Nudge it. What's a thought that feels slightly better and still true? Slightly better might be, I'm overwhelmed, and I can do the next small thing, or I don't know how, and I'm open to seeing the first step, or they didn't choose me, and that rejection just redirected me to a better fit. One afternoon, overwhelmed by emails, I used this exactly. I told myself, I can do 5, that's all. I did 5, took a breath, and suddenly the whole inbox felt different because I felt different. The practical takeaway: treat your mood like a playlist you can gradually remix. Don't demand a leap. Choose one better feeling thought you actually believe, and let the new emotional track cue up the next thought. Emotions aren't random. They're reliable. Listen, they'll steer you home every time. I love this question because alignment isn't mystical, it's mechanical. I run simple processes that tilt my attention toward what I want until momentum takes over. Here are 4 I use constantly. First, 2 minutes of quiet. I sit down, breathe slowly, and focus on the sensation of breath. That's it. When thoughts wander, I come back. I'm not trying to think high thoughts. I'm unplugging from noisy ones. Think of it as removing static so your inner station comes through. Second, rampage of appreciation. I walk around my home and appreciate anything I can sincerely appreciate. The way sunlight hits the table, the smell of coffee, the fact that I get to try again today. Appreciation is the fastest, kindest way I know to tune upward. Third, segment intending. I pause before each segment of the day and decide how I want it to feel. Before a meeting, I intend clarity, ease, and shared insight. Before writing, I intend flow, play, and a surprising sentence. I'm not controlling outcomes. I'm choosing the tone. The segment then often rises to meet it. Fourth, focus wheel. When I care about something and my thoughts are wobbly, I draw a circle on a page and write a core statement in the center that I want to believe. My body knows how to heal, or the right clients are finding me. Around the rim, I write 12 statements that feel true now and point toward the center. Bodies heal cuts without my help. I've recovered before. I know how to rest and nourish. By the time I fill the wheel, I feel stable. Bonus practices I adore. The Book of Positive Aspects, pages of what I love about a person or topic. Wouldn't it be nice if lists, low resistance envisioning, and the wallet process, keeping a $100 bill and brainstorming 50 ways I could spend it today, training my mind to see possibility. The practical takeaway: pick 2 processes, do them for 7 days, and watch for evidence. Not because the universe needed convincing, but because you did. Alignment is a practice. Practice makes momentum. Momentum makes manifestations feel obvious. Let's be raw about this. Life contains contrast, things you want and things you don't. The goal isn't to banish the unwanted. The goal is to relate to it so skillfully that it becomes rocket fuel for clarity instead of an anchor of resistance. Here's how I do it in 5 steps. Step 1, normalize it. When something unwanted happens, I say, of course contrast shows up. This is a creative universe. That one sentence has saved me from spirals. Step 2, harvest the data. What does this show me that I do want? Missed a flight? I want smoother timing, extra buffers, and grace under pressure. Argument with a partner? I want to feel heard and to listen with curiosity. Note, I don't stay to explain the unwanted. I just use it to clarify desire. Step 3, pivot. I consciously put attention on the preferred side of the subject. If the subject is money, there are always 2 ends, abundance and lack. I pivot by asking, what thoughts on the abundance end are believable to me right now? Maybe it's, money has flowed to me before, or I know how to deliver value, or I can feel the difference when I appreciate what I have. Step 4, stop feeding it. This one is tough, but clean. I stop telling the problem story just to be right or to get sympathy. I don't deny what happened. I just stop rehearsing it. I've learned that every retelling is a fresh order to the kitchen. More of this, please. Step 5, soften my body. I unclench my jaw, drop my shoulders, and breathe into my belly for 60 seconds. A softened body is a receiving body. One morning, a deal fell apart that I'd leaned on emotionally. My first impulse was to call a friend and vent. I didn't. I walked outside and gave myself 10 minutes to notice everything working, the sky doing sky things, neighbors laughing, the way my feet felt solid on the ground. Then I asked, what else could this mean? It meant a better partnership was on the way. 2 weeks later, it arrived. No begging required. The practical takeaway. Bless the contrast and move your attention. You are not required to wrestle unwanted things to the ground to justify your joy. You are allowed to let go because your clarity is already doing the heavy lifting. Contrast clarified the ask. Your only job now is allowing. Let's land this in the real places life happens. Money first. I used to think income came from effort alone. Then I noticed seasons when I worked less and earned more because my energy was clean, no chasing, no proving. So I made a daily money ritual, appreciation of what's here already. Every bill paid, every opportunity ever received, a few minutes imagining money as an eager ally, and one generous action that proves my I have enough to share story true. Generosity of praise, of time, of tips, puts me in the stream. Health. My body has become the most honest mirror of my vibration. When I push while resenting, my body whispers first, then shouts. My practice. Listen early. I don't bully my body into a shape. I befriend it into vitality. I speak to it with the tone I want it to believe. Thank you for healing. Thank you for carrying me. I trust your timing. I drink water. I move in ways that feel like play, and I aim for consistent good-feeling choices, not perfection. Love. Relationships flourish when I stop trying to make someone else the custodian of my mood. I use the book of positive aspects on the people I love, not to ignore issues, but to train my focus to the version of them I want to meet. When a pattern bothers me, I work it first in my vibration, pivoting to what I do prefer, appreciating what is genuinely easy between us, and asking for what I need from a full tank, not an empty one. Work. I create best when I'm having fun, so I schedule fun, walks, music, silence, as part of my productivity. Before I write or present, I do segment intending. Let this be useful, uplifting, and surprisingly simple. If a project stalls, I don't beat it into submission. I find the thread of genuine interest and tug there. I've learned that alignment turns work into contribution. Misalignment turns it into labor. Finally, let me speak to sustaining all of this. We don't sustain alignment with willpower. We sustain it with rhythm. I keep my basics: quiet time, appreciation, movement, nourishing food, sleep. I check my stories daily. Are they hopeful? Are they generous toward myself and others? When I slip, and I do, I don't make it mean I'm broken. I see it as a gap in practice, not a flaw in being. I start again at the only place anyone can, here and now. The practical takeaway: pick one arena, money, health, love, or work, and design a 10-minute daily ritual that feels good now. Not a performance to earn blessings, but a tune-up that lets you hear blessings already playing. Do that for 30 days. Watch what moves. And now, let me close with the simplest, bravest invitation I know. Believe that life is biased in your favor. Believe that your desires are sacred clues, not cruel teases. Believe that your emotions are here to guide you, not to sabotage you. Spend more time each day in thoughts that feel like relief and anticipation than in thoughts that feel like dread and defense. Take the next aligned action, not to prove your worth, but to celebrate it. You are a transmitter and a receiver. You are a chooser and a creator. When you ask, it is given. And when you allow, it becomes visible. Today, let it be visible.